Hi there, Dave Markham here for You, A Way of Life. This is the beginning of commentary on the workbook lessons from A Course in Miracles as they relate to Unitarian Universalism. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. It takes patience and persistence because the journeyer is introduced to a whole new metaphysics, a new way of thinking about their life, which is very counterintuitive. It will require the journeyer to give up their usual way of thinking about their perceptions of things in the world of the ego. It will require that they examine their projections and interpretations and beliefs and intentions and behavior. And this is no small requirement. Indeed, it will be a miracle. It helps if on this journey the student has an attitude of curiosity and bravery and also a sense of humor. We will relate the workbook lessons to the theology and principles of Unitarian Universalism as appropriate and relevant. You can follow along in the workbook section of A Course in Miracles and get a copy through Amazon, if not your local bookseller. So welcome, fellow traveler. The first lesson in the workbook is nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. And we're asked to look at things for a minute or two, the chair, the computer, the door, the lamp, the tree, and say to yourself, nothing I see means anything. And so its intention is to get us used to the idea that in everyday language, everything we see is made up. We have expectations and requirements and generalizations that are formed from our past experiences. And so our experience of the world, of the ego, is what philosophers and psychologists call constructed reality. The first way we construct reality is by naming things. We give them names. Parents say to their little children, use your words. And once we have names for things, the second way we construct our reality is telling stories about those things that we have named so that the names have meaning and context. And what we wind up with is what Holden Caulfield called in J.D. Salinger's novel The Ketchler and the Rye, the big lie. The Buddhists teach us that everything is impermanent, everything is changing. And so we get attached to things, and before we know it, we lose them, or they're dissolved, or we've moved on to the next big thing, as one person told me. So it says in the introduction to the workbook lessons that you don't have to believe the lesson. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. Just do it. It takes a while to train the mind to think in new ways about the world we experience. And as the bumper sticker says, don't believe everything you think. So the idea of questioning the meaning that we attribute to things is the first step in eschewing or setting aside the things of the world of the ego so that we can open ourselves to the world of the soul. In Unitarian Universalism, we covenant together to affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And all too often, we search in the world of the ego and we don't find. The Course says that one of the tricks of the ego is to encourage us to search and don't find. The ego wants us to search for happiness and meaning in the world of the ego. And already we have understood that the world of the ego is impermanent. It's just ephemeral. It's an illusion. It's constantly changing. And so ultimately it can never give us the peace and joy that we are seeking. And we don't find because we're searching in the wrong place. So the idea in this first lesson is nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. All right? So have fun with that today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Be well, stay well.